You want some? Hey, Best Pally, I'm Allie, and this, hold on, let me do an unboxing. This new ramen claims to be low carb, and we're gonna test if that's actually true or just souped up marketing lies. Now, the way we're gonna do this is I'm wearing a continuous glucose monitor, which will show us my blood sugar response in real time when I eat this stuff. And generally when I eat something high carb, I get a really big blood sugar spike, and low carb gives me a nice low and level blood sugar response, really steady. So which will it be? They even say on their website, it doesn't raise your blood sugar, so we're about to science on that claim. And the reason we want to avoid a blood sugar spike is because they cause obesity, diabetes, Alzheimer's, heart disease, inflammation, and a bunch of other health problems. So if Immi can invent a ramen that does not cause a blood sugar spike, that would be swell. First, it will be helpful and super interesting to see what a typical high-carb ramen does to my blood sugar. While I'm cooking, let's talk about how these two compare. Typical ramen, 290 calories a cup. Immi is 310. I made it a point to get servings that are pretty much an equal amount of energy, but could be a different amount of effect on my blood sugar. Shout out to my water quality video. Typical ramen, 12 grams of fat. Immi, 14. That's also pretty similar. Ooh. Shout out to my air quality video. Now for carbs, typical ramen is 39 grams and Immi is 24. There is a bit of a difference, but 24 is still a lot if you're trying to be keto friendly, and Immi claims to be, so here's where it gets interesting. Typical ramen has 2 grams of fiber and Immi has 18. So that means the net carb comparison is 37 to 6, and that is a huge difference if you believe net carbs is a real thing. I will talk more about that later. Then we have 7 grams of protein in typical ramen and 21 in Immi. That is a 3x difference. But the biggest numerical difference is price. This cost me about 50 cents, and Immi goes for about $6.50 a packet. Chefing. And one more big difference. This has animal product in it, and Immi is plant-based, so I will be breaking vegan for this experiment. I do what I have to do to science for you, pallies. Oh, this is so many carbs. I need to mentally prepare for this. Smells really good though. Let's add this meal to my CGM. My blood sugar is currently at 95. Oh. Yep. This tastes like it's terrible for me. While I'm enjoying this, let's talk about net carbs. They are calculated by subtracting the amount of fiber from the total carbs, and they were basically made up by the food industry to sell carbs to low carb and keto people. Science is delicious. But I do believe there's actually some merit to net carbs because it's based on the idea that not all carbohydrates affect your body in the same way, which is true and why we're doing this test. Simple and refined carbohydrates and sugar are absorbed by your body really quickly, and that causes the blood sugar spike. Having fiber with your carbohydrates can slow that down and blunt how high the spike goes. So net carbs could be useful because it's important to prioritize fiber, but I don't know about that calculation being very precise. I swear there are supposed to be vegetables in here. Oh, found a corn. There we go. Another big factor in this is protein. Protein can also blunt a spike, so that 21 grams in Immi could make a big difference. And it's also why I'm kind of nervous about this, because I'm always having protein and fiber before my carbs, and I'm not doing that at all right now. Okay. Now we gotta wait 2 hours to see what my body does with that. Levels gives your blood sugar response a score from 10 to 1, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. And for this, I got a 1. What a surprise! A big old cup of noodles is not good for my metabolism. I spiked all the way up to 147, which is not good. I'm on the path to all those bad things I mentioned in the beginning. And now to find out the low-carb ramen score. Cooking seems slightly more complicated on this one. Don't boil that part. So now you know all these things can affect your blood sugar response, but there are more. So to science for you properly, I'm doing this on a different day, but at the same time of day, same level of sleep, activity, and stress level, because we only want one variable in this experiment, and that is the type of ramen. Also, blood sugar response is very personal. I could have a huge spike from something like oatmeal and then no spike from pasta. But you could have a huge spike from pasta and no spike from oatmeal. We're all different, and that's why Levels is awesome. And I would suggest you getting it for yourself so you can test your own response to foods as opposed to just going based on some marketing BS net carbs. I will put my link to Levels in the description if you want to go for it. And now I've front-loaded all the learning talk. And the rest of this will just be a taste test because you may have invented healthy ramen, but who cares if it tastes like the package it came in? Ooh. It doesn't look healthy. Is it unfair that I'm using chopsticks for this one? Extra physical exertion. Okay, let's go. Mmm. Delightful. Yeah, it's really flavorful, although styrofoam ramen is better, but it is certainly not bad, and I'd definitely eat this, especially if it does what I hope it does to my blood sugar. You wanna try it? Normally I do these tests with Christine so we can show you that two bodies are different, but she refuses to have... Braxton. But she's cutting right now and she has refused to... Braxton! Want some? You a vegan dog? What do you think? He approves. Anyway, Christine is cutting right now and she refused to have this many carbs all at once because she's a smart person. I, on the other hand, will destroy my body for science. Oh, and this is the pork flavor too, which would be my least favorite. I bet the chicken and spicy red would be even better. Mmm. And now, 2 hours to the truth. And the final results. You remember the traditional packaged ramen gave me a score of 1, the worst out of 10 that you could possibly get. And the low-carb ramen got a score of 8. Oh my goodness, that's remarkable. Stable response. I ate so many noodles. It's exactly what Immi said. It did not spike my blood sugar, and I totally didn't believe it was gonna happen. After eating that whole freaking bowl, my body did not get closer to all of these bad things. So yeah, absolutely worth the price. That's crazy cool. 2 thumbs up, would eat again. Immi is way better than regular ramen. If you liked this, you'll like seeing when I used a nasal dilator for 7 days straight. I'll put that down there for you. Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and 3, 2, 1, flow. That marks the first second of me dilating my nose in many various ways for 7 days straight to see what happens, besides people thinking I'm